watching our latest coffee break sports edition, y'all. And before I go, because following me is the One Eye Scout Show, starring Kevin Howe, aka the One Eye Scout, and his sidekick, Mr. Philip Townsend, y'all. So, but before I go, y'all, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Y'all be sweet. And I want to give a special shout out to Miss Luvinia Bradford. Yeah, that's my mom, y'all. So y'all stay tuned and get ready. Sit back tight because they got a fantastic show coming. It's the One Eye Scout.
Said I was just like how you guys seen it, you know what I mean? Like especially like through my development stage, and, freshman all the way to senior year. I just wish I would have been on that side of town maybe, and then got to connect with you guys. I definitely felt like it would have helped me a lot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the One Eye Scout Show. And now I'm on the screen for good. And we're proud to be brought to you today by TAAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel and a global reach. And as you know, I am the director of scouting for the Noble, and this platform is built for truth and not fluff. And I want to bring in my man Phil Townsend, my trusty sidekick.
L's up, Kevin. How's it going?
Man, they do L's all the way in San Diego, man.
Hey, I tell you, it is beautiful here, as you well know. But like you said, you're the truth teller. That's why he's Kevin Howe, the one-eyed scout. Look, Kevin, I've been evaluating this game and just spitting the truth for a long time. And got to let you know, if there's talent out there, he's going to find it.
Man.
I may not see it, but Kevin Howe, the one-eyed scout, is going to find it.
Thanks, Phil, man. We got a lot to cover tonight, man. Even in this show and after this show, I just want to let people know that we got a special live interviews with Bo Patterson, 7-footer out of Lampasas tonight. We got J Jack's going to join us for a little bit. And then a name that you may not know yet, but many are finding out, Antone Almuter, one of the Almuter twins from Parish Episcopal, making a lot of noise, EYBL across the state, Parish. But, man, we're talking about more than just buckets, man. We got to let players know they're being watched. From the layup line to the handshake lines, man, coaches are watching everything. And
oh yeah, Kevin. How we used to say, hey, that's right now. They're taking names and coaches, even players are watching what you're looking at a weakness, whether it's how you lead or if you don't lead. So it's not just a game of skill, Kevin. It's a game of high character.
it's something that you pointed out, man, that's really a separator when it comes down to high IQ uh, middle schoolers, but as we start teaching kids how to scout opposing teams, scout opposing players, and those really high IQ guys, man, they're picking up traits and tendencies, on the sidelines, and I know I stay on the baseline as much as possible, man. You can hear them calling out different things to their teammates, tendencies, and I tell you what, these kids got to understand. And I'm calling about the juniors and seniors. You will not get a Division I scholarship without a left hand or right hand. You got to have an off hand. And you see so many guys go right just to go back left, or they go left just to tap it back right, and that's not going to cut it, man. And that's we try to bring this stuff every week, man, because that's the lens that we're looking through, and that's the lens that we know coaches are looking through. And one thing I guys don't understand this either, Phil. Everybody has eyes on you some kind of way. There'll be guys like us evaluating. There'll be guys that Jimmy Sexton sends down for a coach that he's representing and wants to know the inside scoop on the UIBL. They may not be in the building physically, but I promise you, they got eyes everywhere. Um,
Exactly.
you know, one thing that's coming up, man, that I'm really excited about. I'm excited anytime San Antonio hosts an event. And this weekend, the Gasso is coming in town, and they're gonna be filling the courts up with talent. And we'll talk about this in a second, man. But the TABC. Now we're not talking about the Alcohol Commission, Vance. We're talking about the Association of Basketball Coaches. And they're gonna be being in town. It's a big, big event, statewide event with all these high school coaches coming down. And there'll be an all-star game Friday night. It'll be held out at St. Mary's. And this all-star game is different, you know. This one is statewide. So you'll get guys from Dallas will make this, guys from Houston, West Lubbock, Texas, all over. That will descend upon San Antonio for this TABC All-Star game.
Well, Kev, the other amazing thing about that, it's going to be going on the same time, running parallel with the coaching conference that's going to be here. So it's going to be a lot of college level conversation going on. And look, people better come with their best stuff. I mean, the mental attitude, the high character, the high IQ, because somebody, like you said, somebody's going to be
And
watching.
last year, uh, it was nice. I got a chance to talk with Javade Merriweather, who ended up going to McMurray. But one guy that we had followed from a distance because we really hadn't cranked up the One Eye Scout yet at that time was Josiah McDonald out of Southwest, commonly known around town as
Yeah.
JoJo. But JoJo played in that, and man, he put on a show, and it really it did me good because he was playing with people from all over the state. Now you tell me why somebody that's all state in the state of Texas got to go all the way to North Dakota to get a scholarship. It don't make sense, man. It don't make
Make it
sense.
make sense,
Well,
Captain.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be in the building Saturday and Sunday for the gas show. So if we get some of those cats standing out, man,
Look,
we're gonna make sure. Now, gas show does a good job of putting people on. All right, can't take it away from uh, Littlefield or Blue, Mass, Timmons, and Lloyd. Man, they put in work. But we really root for the San Antonio kid. Uh, so we're gonna do our business. But you were saying something. I so rudely cut you off, like you was trying to go
oh no, no.
baseline.
All I was saying, there's going to be a lot of talented hoopers here. Uh, like you said, Saturday and Sunday, and I'm looking forward to getting out this weekend myself. I'll be back in San Antonio. Uh, oh well, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to have to wait until Sunday to check out the action because I think I don't get in until late Saturday.
All right, man. Well, I tell you what, man. Guys got to understand that this ain't a weekend for mixtape and videos. This is a weekend to make your resume. Because why? Why do you say, yeah? Next weekend's live period. And so for people like myself, I'm gonna be headed up to Dallas, and I'm gonna take up the New Balance circuit, the P32. Um, I'm excited. It's my first time. It was their first time. It's a new league, but you know what, man? It's gonna be It's going to be a fun event. I tell you why. We talked about Tony Crocker's behind the scene team when they were at the circuit, how physical they were with their inside guys, setting screens and rolling. So I'm excited to see them take that to Dallas. And also, Phil, in that same venue, there's a junior college event. I wish I remember the name of it, but some JUCO kids are coming down, and guess who's one of those? JoJo McDonald is going to be representing Williston State, and
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
no, I was saying there's also going to be a junior college event in Farmers Branch where they're hosting the New Balance. So it's in conjunction with
Oh
New
yeah,
Balance, and JoJo's going to be there. So I'm really excited about that.
Kev, this whole P32, the New Balance thing, like you said, it's growing fast, growing fast. How do you think it's going to stack up with some of the others that are out there? The whole when you get into Adidas and Nike and all.
In my opinion, man, Nike's going to stay top just based upon history and numbers and money. Um, Puma has put a big push on Adidas to really revamp what they have. I won't say revamp, but tighten up the shot group,
Uh huh.
is a military term. And I think New Balance is going to be right there in the mix because talking with with people about the circuit, New Balance is putting a whole lot of money into this. I mean, when you think about it, they got Kawhi Leonard, they signed Cooper Flag, um, and they signed one or two of the females that just got drafted in the WNBA. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I believe they got Cameron Brink too, right?
Yeah. So I mean, they're putting money into it. They're gonna see results. And when you think about the age of these players these days, um, Nike hasn't really had anybody to carry the torch per se. Um, you got a Kevin Durant, but he's a little bit older. LeBron's a little bit older. Now those guys
Right.
are top of the game, but making noise. I mean, you got new cats coming in all the time. So the next established person that's going to make a difference, in my opinion, is going to be the Joker. Uh, it could be a Kawhi Leonard. It could be a Jalen Brunson. It's going to be one of the next faces of the league. And, all fingers point towards, oh man, what's that kid in Minnesota? Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, um, he's got a smooth personality about him. He's got an electric smile. You got to have something other
Mhm.
than just that flash game. Uh, you know, John Morant, you take his game, but then if you take not his little things that get him in trouble, but he
Mhm.
just when he's being interviewed that you don't see that dynamic personality come out like you do with an Anthony Edwards. So you got to have more than just that talent to get it going. Or you could say, well, it'll be the Joker, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And you say the Joker in the sense that there's such an international flair, and that's something that Americans aren't ready to admit yet. It's now um, not too controversial, but now it's the African American athlete, then it's the international athlete in numbers, and then it's the Caucasian group. You know, uh, you gotta have more than talent, man, because We talked about some of Ja's off court stuff, but you brought it up, the personality of Anthony Edwards. Like it's contagious. He called his shot. He said he was going to beat LeBron, and then he did it. And was it braggadocious? Not necessarily. Just the spirit
No,
of confidence.
right. Yeah, that was just that was that's what one thing you kind of like about Anthony Edwards is that he says stuff, even if it doesn't come to fruition, you know, that he's going to beat this. I mean, you go back, you take the Olympics, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was going to be the alpha that's going to be numero uno. And, of course, it turned out that that was LeBron James. But uh, he'll put it in the ether, and that's what you have to like about him is that hey, he'll put 10 toes down on something that
Oh
he
yeah,
said. Yeah.
that's a fact. When you think about it, man, he only spent 1 year at Georgia. You know,
Well, 1 year at Georgia, and he will tell you that, hey, I don't know, maybe I want to do football.
yeah,
See, so
you know,
so he's got uh, uh, a lot of dynamic, just kind of like that thing that just that aura that's just out there, and so it, um, I I would not shy away from him being that face that the league gravitates to, because you can see people, even though some might think it being a little brash or something, he's got that little quirky smile to it that kind
mhm.
of makes it not seem a harsh seriousness when he's saying it. Yeah.
I do want to throw this out there for some of you football guys out there. You see Anthony Edwards talked about playing football. You see LeBron's talked about playing football, and you see uh, guys making that transition from a basketball forward to a tight end. But I've never heard of a tight end making that transition to a power forward. I'm just gonna let y'all simmer on that. Y'all talk about that over there on drones and tell me how crazy I am for saying that. But I do want to get into something. I do want to get into something. Uh, we're gonna start posting more of it on different social medias. But we've got some merchandise that we're gonna put up on our store. Uh, we got and you're gonna reach out to me, and we're gonna make sure we get the right sizes for everybody. But the One Eye Scout shirts are in. You can check it out on social media. If you go over to the Twitter page, it should be pinned or will be at the end of the show. We got the one out the NA for everybody. You can see JC on Facebook and on Instagram with the doghouse shirt on. So that's just something that we've been working on, and it's finally starting to happen. And we'll
And
have
Kev,
some
they should,
yeah.
excuse me, and you may want to restate that because if they could see the shirt that you have on, and if they saw that doghouse shirt, those are really, really well done.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll have it out there on social media. Uh, I cut the timeline too short for today, but I will make sure that happens uh, coming next. But you know what, man? We don't have any intro music for this, but we got another segment of the Scout is eating out. You know, man, we're working on some things, and I asked someone for some recommendations over there in the Judson Converse area, and they turned me on to the spot. Man, it's called the Brunch Spot. Uh, and you go in there. I got some pictures that we'll post up whenever we put it on Instagram. But I walked in there, it was a smooth place, man. It reminded me of some spots back in New Orleans with all the colors,
Hmm.
with the R&B music, man. It was very low key, uh, kind of industrial type ceiling, you know. Just, it was a whole vibe, man. And so we got there, and of course we're getting breakfast, you know, the brunch spot for us. We myself, I ordered the waffles, and man, it came out some of the best tasting syrup. I don't know if they make it in the house or buy it, but the wife had some French toast. But you know what? Both of us walked out of there talking about the bacon, man. That was some of the best tasting bacon I ever had. And then it turned over to the grits,
Oh,
man.
oh,
It was,
oh,
oh
oh,
boy,
oh,
you
hold it
gotta go
right
ahead.
there, Kevin. Stop. You had me until you said grits. I have never,
What?
ever eaten a grit in my life. And I surely hope if there's an afterlife, it does not happen then. I've seen people eat them. I've seen
Uh,
them cooking, and I tell my wife, when you finish with that pan with that stuff, get it cleaned out.
mhm.
I just can't stand the way it looks. Now I will eat some malto meal, I, but I
Nah,
can't see myself eating grits.
yeah.
No.
But then, man, I have never eaten uh, sunny side up eggs by themselves, you know, without it being on a plate. But man, they had put some spices with them, man, and it was just a great experience. Uh, like I said, my wife and I could mention two or three, two, two or three restaurants back home in New Orleans that it reminded us of with the vibe, the music, the colors, uh, a lot of natural light, man. I really like that place, and you know, I hope that they join us.
I'm gonna have to try it out with my wife.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
make sure we have all the address and all that stuff put up there when we put it over on the Scholars Eating Out page. And you know, before we wrap up, man, I do want to talk about something that we've been putting together, man. It's called. We've always had the five guys that caught my eye. Well, we're expanding. We're gonna do the five guys that caught my eye, and we're gonna do five stops in five different communities. And for the northern, oh
Oh.
yeah, man, we've been cooking up some ideas, boy. And so
Hmm.
the first stop is gonna be out in our area. We're gonna pull from Bernie, Piper, Smithson Valley, Johnson, New Braunfels, and we're gonna all meet up at the Antler. Have you ever been at the Antler out there in Spring Branch? It used to be on the corner of 46 and
No,
281.
no, but you mentioned that
Mhm.
and how good the food was.
Man, they have fried cornbread. I mean, not cornbread, fried corn on the cob. That tells you about how soulless this place can be, man. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. 'Cause we lived out here 20 something years, man, and I know that there's spots over in Helotes and there's spots in East Central, and there's spots across the city. And I've been networking, trying to get different people to suggest different places, man. And I can't wait. And we'll unveil where some of these spots are as we go along. But that's going to start off in early June. But I do want to pump up. You know, that Antler was the first one to step up and say yes, count us in.
All
And
right.
yep. So you'll see more materials about that. But you know, as we come to a close, uh, I want to tell you, man, let's have some safe travel, safe travel back. Uh, but you know, this platform exists because we believe in the power of the gym, the truth in the tape, and the responsibility of the scout. And I can't say how important TAN TV has in providing a platform allowing it to do it our way, allow us to bring the African American stories that need to be told in an authentic voice. And man, we just love spreading the basketball cheer. And that needs to be said how impactful TAN TV has become.
Yeah, and look, guys, if you're one of the few that's going to be fortunate enough to be in that gym this weekend, it means you're there for a reason. It means you have that talent that people feel that you can really get out there and play. But what you just really have to remember is that those eyes won't blink. You may see someone's eyes closed over here, but someone else's eyes are wide open. You're being watched. So put your best foot forward, put your best game on, get with it.
For Phil Townsend, I'm Kevin Howell. This is the One-Eyed Scout live show on TAN TV, and we'll see you in the gym.
Said I was just like how you guys seen it, you know what I mean? Like especially like through my development stage, like, you know, freshman all the way to senior year. I just wish I would have been on that side of town maybe and then got to connect with you guys. I definitely felt like it would have helped me a lot.
This is Coach Abbott, head coach of Southwest Lake.